Here we go. Okay, welcome to day 4/5 of boot camp because we're combining today and tomorrow into one class. My name is Monica Perry and I'm your Market Center Tech Trainer, and we are going to take off. So yesterday we left off looking at our agent websites and our really cool new feature where we get to force registration. So today we're going to go in and look at designs and campaigns to start off. And then we'll come back from a break and we'll just kind of take a look at everything that we haven't touched on, like reports and all of that kind of fun stuff there. All right. So we're going to start off with designs. The most important thing in designs for you to do before you ever do anything else. So we're going to click on our paintbrush with our little canvas. And once we get here, we're going to come up to the upper right corner and click Create Design, and you're going to pick Social. This is going to be the first thing we're going to do. And once we get to the next screen, very important for us to go in and set up our assets. So once this loads, we're going to come up here to the tab called Assets. And once we get there, you're going to see a couple of things that we can do. We can set up color palettes. We can add images, text, logos, things that we're going to need to use all of the time in our designs as we are creating them. So for color palettes, this is my main color palette. I usually use a mixture of KW reds and some teals, which are part of my brand. And then maybe you're going to have specific colors for fall, or when you're doing 4th of July post or Memorial Day post and things like that. Specific colors for summer. You can add a color palette and it will give you a blank one. You can rename it. Getting in the mood for football. And I can start picking out some colors that fit whatever it is that I need to create. Like so. And on and so forth until I have the color palette set up that I want. And you will see where these come into play as we move into designs. Okay. Next up, fonts. We can also upload fonts. So if we have a specific font that we want for our brand, maybe we had a designer make it for us. Maybe we went online and found a font that we liked and we added it. We can choose web fonts that we go and search for by clicking on web fonts, and we can download some additional fonts that we might want to use. Or if we had someone design a font specifically for our business, we can upload that font right here. As long as it is in one of these 5 file formats, we can upload the font from our computer. And that way we will have it for use as we create designs. And I do apologize, my internet has been being totally terrible today. I don't know what's going on. So we can upload fonts. Next up, images. So if you, like me, have some cityscapes of an area, then you can upload those from your computer. Make sure that you own the rights to the images you're using. You could also upload pictures of listings, right? Maybe we talked to the person that we're listing the house for and said, hey, could I use your images of your listing for some of my branding? More than likely that person's going to say yes, and you're going to be able to use that image for that. You can set up folders here, so you can see I have my headshots in different files and formats here in a folder. I have some command screenshots because that's what I'm usually doing marketing for. This may be where you upload pictures of listings or cities or anything like that. And you can upload and build as many folders as you would like right here. You can also upload text. So as I've gone through and built designs, I've noticed a lot of places where I need to put my name or my office address or a block of my text together, my name, my phone number, my email, and website. And you will notice those things as you go through as well. So you can come up here and add a new field like so. And then you can pick what you're doing. Is it an address, a phone, right? A tag, a slogan, a vision, other, and you can upload all of your text here. And again, I'm going to show you where all of this stuff comes into play. And then we also have a place to upload our logo. So as previously mentioned, I'm in 3 offices. So I have 3 folders worth of logos. And then I also created kind of a fake logo for my fake team so that I could show you guys how that works here in Command. So you can upload your logos here as well. You also have the ability to upload elements like stickers, like Facebook, follow me on YouTube, that kind of thing. You can put videos in here in case you want to add a video to something you're making, and you have a place for files. So I highly recommend before you do anything else in designs that you come in and set up your assets first. So that's what we're going to stick with. I'm going to come back to designs here, right? These are my designs. So this is a tab with all of the designs that I have made here in Command. You might not have any designs yet, and that's okay. But I wanted you to notice that you can, in fact, set up folders for all of your designs as well. So every time that you guys see me post something that we have a class upcoming, I made that design in here, and I have a folder for my class covers, right? And you guys would have a folder for your own specific thing. Maybe you set up a folder every time you list a house, right? So check this out. I set this stuff up for you guys so you would see. We have every size, shape, all that kind of stuff for advertising listings, for example. We have postcards, we have flyers, we have social stories, we have social squares, okay? So I made these for you guys so you would be able to see them and see me make a folder here. So maybe every time that I list a property, I want to be able to make a flyer, a social story, a social square, and a postcard on the fly, pretty simply, okay? So I've made some already. I got my first listing and I made those things. Oh, there's Gabby. Got my first listing and I made myself all of my marketing materials, okay? So now here in designs, I'm going to click add a folder. And I'm going to name my folder, right? I've already done this part. Hey, Gabby, so sorry for the confusion, honey. We had a medical emergency happen this morning. My daughter woke up really sick and we were afraid she had COVID. So kind of a crazy day here. But nonetheless, we can add a folder. We can name our folder. I've already done that. And I made one called listing marketing. Okay. So I could even break it down into different addresses, but let me just show you guys. I'm going to delete these. We're going to make this folder new. Okay. I'm going to step back one step. So now I've got my listing marketing folder and I'd just gotten this listing and this was my postcard. So I'm going to take it and drop it into my listing marketing. I'm going to take this flyer that I made for my listing and drop it into my listing marketing. I made this social square, or the social story rather. And I made this social square. Ooh, drop it in there. Okay. So I got this listing. It did really well. It sold. We're good. I got my next listing. All I have to do is go into my listing marketing folder. And maybe I want to keep these, right? Because I want to have a record of it. But I can just click the 3 dots and click duplicate. Boom. Now I can make a fresh postcard for my new listing, right? So this is kind of the way you can manage your folders in here. I wanted to kind of touch on that before we go into actual design creation. So Gabby, I know that you had to jump in a little bit late, and I do apologize for all the chaos this morning. We talked about when you first come into designs, I'm going to back myself all the way out just so you can see what we were doing.
You don't have to do that, Monica. I plan to review the video.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that way you can just keep trucking. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just hanging out in designs. That's where we went first. All right. So now that we're here, we're back in designs. Let's talk about creating a design. Okay. So we have a couple of different designs that we can make. If you don't see designs here, it's because you haven't made designs yet, and that's okay. We're going to click on create design in the upper right corner, and we're going to get to choose email, social, print, or video. Okay. Email specifically is a different type of design than the others. It's not going to take you to that screen where we just were. So we're going to come back to email in a minute, but we're going to go ahead and stick with social for right now and click continue. And that's going to bring us back to where we were, into all of our templates. So first I want to run through all the different types of templates we have to use in here in our business. Okay. So K-Score, the Keller Williams Real Estate Success opportunity there. If you wanted to try to get some folks into your downline, those might be some good graphics for you to be using. But listings, right? We have coming soon. We have for sale, just listed, just sold, local expert. So if you're trying to get listings in a specific area, these are some good things. How's the market? You can go into the MLS and say, here's what's happening in your city, your zip code, your county, whatever, and you can put those numbers in there. Okay. So you have all different kinds of designs that you can make. You have neighborhood snapshots, which I love. We talked a lot about our website yesterday and how we can now force capture. So let's talk about this a little bit. This would be a good opportunity for you to post on Facebook about a specific neighborhood. And we talked about how we could get those neighborhood URLs from our website yesterday. Okay. So let's come in here and get this. Your market is on the move. Nice little social square. I'm going to click right here on this neighborhood snapshot. I'm going to come to the left and choose KWLS. Okay. And now I have the ability to search for a listing or a snapshot. So I'm going to choose snapshot this time. I can search by a neighborhood. We've discussed neighborhoods, or I can even search by a zip code. So today we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to go with, I guess we'll go with the zip code. And I'm going to search for 27104. Okay. We have these little red bubbles that help us along the way. I'm going to search for that zip code. Oh, it's giving me NA. I lied. We're going to search by a neighborhood. Maybe the data is just not wanting to work with us today. That would figure be the crown to my day. I'm going to look for Buena Vista and Winston-Salem. Remember, these neighborhoods are powered by Nextdoor. I'm going to click this little down arrow. Okay, so here is the neighborhood snapshot for Buena Vista. So I've got this highlighted in my design, and this is the one that needs to replace it. So I'm going to come to the left and click this replace image. And that dropped that information in here. So now I can say, hey, I've got this highlighted. I can come up to the typewriter and put Buena Vista instead and click Save Changes. Your market is on the move. I can click on this logo, and because I set up my assets I've got my logos here. So I can just click the replace button there. Boom, done. Maybe I want my picture to be in here, right? Again, I had set up my assets, and under images, I have a folder for my headshots. And here's one with no background. So maybe I want to click on this and drop it into my graphic here. So I want people to see my face like that. Okay. Under my text that I added in my assets, I can click on text, come up here to my assets, right? Here's that text block I talked about that I made. I can just click it. It dropped it into the image, and I can drop it into my design wherever it's going to fit in for me, like maybe right here. And then maybe I want to slide it in a little bit tighter. And then I want to move this down.
Hey, Monica,
here. Go ahead, Gabby.
are we able to create my assets, all the tags, like a copy and paste as we're setting up other areas of like our website and things like that?
Ask it again.
Is there a way, as like, so I just got my website and app and all of that. So as I'm going through setting that up, am I able to like take all of those, copy them?
So you
Like on a
shouldn't need
document,
to.
maybe?
Scott Leroy Marketing should have set up your website for you.
Yeah.
And if you want to review yesterday's video, that's where we went through and showed like what we can edit. There's not a ton that we can edit on our websites, right? You can upgrade your biography. You can add some pages.
Yeah, no, what I mean is right now you just clicked on my assets, right? And I saw the list.
Right.
And I noticed you had like download my app. Could we just copy and paste from other areas and plug those in and create that list of assets?
Yeah,
Or do I have to type them all in?
list of assets is what we were looking at. That's why I wanted to go back so you can see it. I'm just going to back out of this real quick. When you're right
Sorry.
here, no, don't be sorry, sweetie. Don't be sorry at all. When you click create design and pick print or social, it's going to bring you to this screen. Actually, it's going to bring you to the one that says templates, but you're going to be in this like ecosystem here of our design platform. And you can come up here to assets. And this is setting up assets for your designs. So only for making flyers, social media posts. It doesn't, this is separate from your website. Does that make sense? So you're like setting up stuff that you're going to drop into design that you're making.
Okay, so see that right there? Am I able, do I have to type all that in, or am I able to pull that in somewhere else?
Some of this stuff was probably already there, right? There may be a couple. But what I did is I clicked new field and I clicked, first name, and then I typed my name, or I typed whatever. And my tagline, right? So like love where you live. I just type love where you live, because then I just have to type it one time. And every time I'm making a design, I just have to click on it instead of typing it. So it's one of those, go ahead and set it up now. Okay. So that you don't have to worry about it later.
So I'm not really able to pull it from another area. I have to type it in.
Right. You're making the area from which to pull it when you're setting up your assets.
Okay. I got it. Make sense? Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. Great question. Okay. So now if we've made this little design for ourselves, we can post it later with that link to our website that we were looking at yesterday, right? So I can go to monicaperry.kw.com, and you can go to your own website there, and I can search for Univista. I'm just going to stick with what we've already been working with. Okay. And I showed you guys those neighborhood pages where they can click explore neighborhood, and it shows them the outline of the neighborhood, the schools, what's for sale in there, the Yelp connection, all that kind of fun stuff. This is just a whole website just about this neighborhood essentially, but it's connected to you, right? So I can copy this link. That is the link to the neighborhood Buena Vista on my website. And I can use one of these nice designs like the one that I just made and post that on social media. Interested in moving to Buena Vista? Check out this website. And once they get in there and start messing around and they're like, well, I want to look at a house, right? I want to look at a house in there. I like blue houses. I'm going to click on this one. It's going to force them to register, right? That's where that forced registration comes in. And then we're going to capture that person as a lead in our command database when they register. Does that make sense? So just some cool things that you can think about when you're making designs and stuff like that. So we have buyer designs, we have buyer presentations, we have listing presentations, door hangers, postcards, listing flyers, right? Once you've edited one thing in this platform, you pretty much know how to edit everything in this platform, okay? So editing a social design is the same as editing this buyer presentation or listing presentation. Under lead generation, we have client love, birthdays, right? Client testimonials. If they leave you a testimonial for doing a really good job on helping them, then you could highlight that on your social media platforms with a really pretty graphic. You have expert advice. You have things about home value, right? Curious what your home is worth. This is something you could post on Facebook. We have some I love KW stuff, and I like these. I use these a lot on my Facebook as my cover photo on my business page, like #1 KW, Red Days coming up, right? All these kind of fun things. I use a lot of these on my business page. We have some stuff about downloading our app. We have some designs about our websites, which are pretty relevant right now since we can force registration. And last but certainly not least, we have our branded magazine. Okay. So we just got this new version. This is our Q3 branded magazine. So say I wanted to use this magazine, I'm going to click use. Okay. And there it is. I have 3 choices of a cover for every magazine that I get each time we get a new one. I'm going to come down into the lower right corner where it says I have 22 pages to my design. Click this up. So this is option 1 for a cover, option 2 for a cover, and option 3 for my cover. Okay. So maybe I want to rename this and say that this is mine. So I know that this is the one I'm editing, and I want to use which cover? I don't want this one, so I'm going to delete it. And maybe I want to use the emojis, even though she's really cute. I want to use this emoji one. So I've deleted the pages I don't want, and this is the page that I do want. Okay. So I'm going to click on my logo. Maybe. Everything's wanting to give me a hard time today, y'all. It's just been that day. I'm not even going to lie. There. I'm going to click on my logo. I'm going to come over and replace it with my logo asset that I already had uploaded. I'm going to click on this where it says agent, team name, office name. I'm going to click my typewriter, and I'm going to say Monica Perry, Keller Williams, Realty Elite, right there, and click save. Okay. These are really the only things I need to change on this cover. Otherwise, it's just a list of the articles that are in the magazine. Okay. So then I'm going to move to page 2. So dear current and future clients, I want to make sure that I go through, it's highlighted for me. The temperatures are rising, and is it my or our mission to shield you, right? So you can click this paragraph, and again, you can click this typewriter. Okay. And I can make any edits that I need to make. It's my mission to shield you, your loved ones, and your living space from unwanted heat. That's why right? If you're on a team, it might be we. So you want to go through, I mean, it's essentially written for you. You just have to make these few edits, right? Make sense? And then we're going to click save. I'm not going to take the time to do every single one because you guys get it. But you're going to go through and make those edits. Okay? I need to change this picture with my picture. So I can go under my images. Here's my headshot. I'm going to replace her face with my face. If I didn't like the way that this cropped, I can double click and I can move it and then click done to move the crop around. Click this, typewriter, edit, right? So you can go through and edit the pages to your liking. If you don't like a page, for example, I'm going to move forward to this next page. If you just got started, you might not have a quarter in review, right? So this for your own numbers, but this is giving you the ability to insert a specific neighborhood or zip code or a city. You could go into the MLS and get these numbers. And then this could be your company's snapshot. What did my company sell in Q2 of 2022? You can ask your MCA, what were our numbers? Could you give me these 3 numbers for Q2? And your MCA will be happy to help you with that, right? Or if you do have your own numbers, you could say, this is what I did in Q2, right? If you have good, strong numbers to show, and that would be fine as well. Or if you're like, yeah, I just don't really need this page, then you can click the 3 dots and you could choose to delete that page out of your magazine design. You get a couple of articles, a few articles, because you get 3, right, each month, each quarter. So this one's 5 vacation tips that won't break the bank. Then we have the ability to feature a listing here. Then we have our next article, which is about overcoming first-time homebuyer fears. Then we have our next and last article, which is if you can't stand the heat, cool down your kitchen. And we have some highlight pages, success stories with your clients. If you don't have any yet, again, you could just delete that page. So does anybody have any questions on how we're kind of editing this out to be what we want it to be before we move on? Cool. And
Nope, that's
everything's
really cool.
edited about the same way. Go ahead, Gabby.
No, I was just saying that's really cool.
Yeah, I love this magazine. And everything that we edit in here, guys, is done about the same way. So this happens to be the magazine, right? But editing a social design looks pretty much the same. Click what you want to change. If you have assets in place, you can replace it with your asset, right? If this was their team logo and this is your team logo, you can replace it. And then you can just make it the size that it needs to be. You can click on stuff and delete on your keyboard. You can drag and drop stuff all over the place as you need, right? So fully customizable. It's really, it takes just using it, right? That's why I always equate Command to like your phone. No one sat down with you and said, okay, this is your phone. Now I want you to push this button and then push this button. You just opened your phone from the box and you started using it, right? And that's kind of what I want you guys to do with Command. You're taking it out of the box and now you're going to click through it and click on buttons. Maybe you watch a video, maybe you come to a class, but really using it is what's going to be your best teacher. So designs is no different. Get in here and play around. You're not going to break anything, right? If you don't like the way this template turns out, you can always get the same template fresh, right? So now that we have a magazine, I wanted to just show you guys this in case you decide you want to come in and edit this magazine out to your liking. Now, what do I do with it, Monica? You know, I've got my magazine, but what do I do with it now? Okay. I'm going to show you if my internet will catch up. I'm telling y'all, my internet has been an absolute nightmare today. It is really stressing me out.
Monica, while you're in the logos, I do have a question. Is there a place that these are all housed for us to access the logos?
The logos, yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So if you go to kwconnect.com, which should be your friend, right? KW Connect is kind of our learning platform. It's got a lot of resources, mega camps coming up. And I was a good segue because I'm going to be bringing you guys over here in a little bit anyway, to show you a couple of things. But KW Connect's got all kinds of stuff. Like this is National Home Ownership Month. Monthly social media calendar is what I was going to be bringing you guys to in just a little bit. But also here you have the white pages. So if you're looking for an agent in a different market center, you can look them up here, or you can come in here and edit parts of your profile. But under resources, you have a ton. You can come down to marketing and logos and branding. This is an identity and style guide for KW. So if you wanted to get a custom sign made, you would want to give this to the custom sign maker, right? It's got our identity and style guide, branding guidelines, etc. But as we keep sliding down, we have the spot for our market center logos. So if you're in Market Center in Winston-Salem, your number is 994. You can search 994, and then you can click download, and it will download a zip file full of your office's logos. If you're in Greensboro, KW1, I just want to remind you guys, you used to be KW Greensboro and KW Greensboro North, and you are now KW1. They have not updated this yet to have the KW1 logos. If you are in Greensboro, go into your Facebook for your private Facebook for the office, click the search box and type logo, and Becca has uploaded logos there for your office. Great question.
So Monica, we download this, right? And
Yeah.
then we would just,
Then you have them saved to your computer and you can put them in your assets and designs.
perfect, okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
And 685 is Chapel Hill. So you guys know, they are in here. KW United does have its logos right there. And that's all I did, right? So for everybody but Greensboro, because we did get the new logos and stuff, I just went to KW Connect, and then in my assets, I uploaded all the ones that were there. And see, there's Winston, KW United, looks like that, and KW1. Again, those are in your Facebook page for right now, look like this. Hopefully they'll get those uploaded soon. Okay, cool deal. All right, cool. So now that we have this magazine done, we're going to pretend that we're finished. Okay, we have some options, right? So we could print this out like a magazine, obviously, right? You can just download it, print it out, send it to a printer, have it printed like an actual magazine if you want to, or send it to your own printer. However you want to handle it, you could print it out. Okay. Option 1. Option 2, we have this share button. Okay. I don't want you to share the design. The design is just this one page. But if you come up here and share the project, that is the entire magazine. So now watch what happens if I copy this link. Okay. So again, maybe I did make a Facebook post. Maybe I downloaded the cover of the magazine as an image, and then I went to Facebook and said, or Instagram or wherever, and said, hey, here's my new magazine, check it out. And I had the picture and the link. Click to read, right? And they click the link, it's going to take them to this, and they are going to be able to flip through and read my magazine digitally. Right? So that's another option that you could use. You could share it like that and then put it on Facebook or Instagram or wherever else you might want to share it, right? So that's pretty cool too. And I'm going to show you guys a third thing that you can do. I am going to, in fact, download this as a PNG, which is a high quality image, so that it's on my computer. Just going to give it a minute to download. Anytime you're downloading something, it's going to say it's preparing. Okay. We're going to hold that in our back pocket for a few minutes for when we go into a different section. But the next thing I want to show you guys really quickly, or I want to go back to it actually, is those social designs, because there's something really cool that we can do with social designs when we're trying to catch people's attention on Facebook, okay, or any other social media platform. Our goal is to stop them from scrolling, right? You know what it's like. You're scrolling. Oh, look at that dog. Look at my friends at dinner. Look at this. Look at this. And you're scroll. You're trying to come up with something to post that is going to make them stop scrolling and click on your content, right? So always keep that in mind when you're posting something, what your intention is, okay? So say I do have a new, or I have my listing right here and it got price improved. I had to reduce the price because that actually is happening as our market is shifting. You're going to see that there are quite a few listings that are getting lowered in price, right? And this is nice. I mean, it's a nice little design and everything. Maybe I want to put my headshot on there. I could do that. Maybe I want to put it down in the corner and just make it a little bit smaller. Right. I could put my picture there. I could come over to my text that I've uploaded under my assets and I could grab that text block. Maybe I need to stretch it out a little bit. And I could bring that down here onto the white, like so. Maybe I want to make it a little bit smaller so it fits, like that. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, okay, it's good. But is it really going to stop somebody from scrolling? I don't know. I don't know. So maybe I want to animate it, right? Because what captures people's attention more? A still image or something moving, right? They've now given us the ability to animate these. So what I usually like to do, I like for them to last a little bit longer. So I usually take it up somewhere 6 or 7 seconds. And I put the in and out duration up a little bit as well. And then you can choose for it to bounce in or swing in, right? You've got all these choices that you can do like that. So if you're going to use one of these animations, you need to download it. I think if you share it, it's just going to share it like a still image. So what you need to do is download it and change the file type to the video and then click download. And again, it's going to tell you it's preparing. It's going to show you up here that it's fetching, it's preparing. It's going to go through and it's going to download it as a little video. And then you will be able to post that on your social media platforms of choice. And I think that captures a little bit more attention. Now, I wouldn't overuse it because then you could wear it out, right? But when you have something you're really trying to catch people's attention with, you can animate that, which I think is super cool, right? And don't forget that you can set up those folders. So I do really love that about this system, because one of the most important things, I'm teaching a whole class on it in August, is building your brand, right? It's about building your brand. So the best thing for you to do is what I showed you guys towards the beginning. If this is the look you like, set it up and use it over and over and over and over again. because people know when they see that Monica sold another one, Monica listed another one, Monica has another open house. She's killing it, right? This is my brand. And it makes it a lot easier on you because you're like, okay, I need a postcard for my new listing, right? So I showed you guys where you just duplicate the image, duplicate the design, but now I can open up my duplicated design and check out how fun this is. If I've already put it in the MLS, I don't have my own listings, so we'll see. Oh no, I'm out of coffee. We'll see which one we can find. Bear with me one sec while this pulls up my office active listings. We'll find something pretty. Bear with me. I didn't really mean to go into that one. Y'all, it's just been that day for me. All right, let's try this again. Kinderton. I know I saw one in Buena Vista that had, when I'm teaching a class, I figure we might as well go big or go home. I know I saw a Buena Vista house there. 1803 Meadowbrook Drive. I could not remember that address. All right, so say I just listed 1803 Meadowbrook Drive, okay? You can come over, you've made your copy of your postcard, you can come over to KWLS on the left here. You're searching for a listing. You're searching for 1803 Meadowbrook Drive. Obviously, you would know the address of your own listing. I just don't have listings, so I have to borrow somebody's. So when I click select, all of my MLS pictures are there, right? Or if this was my listing, I probably have the photographer's photos, so I would have been able to do this even before I put it in the MLS, but I'm just showing you guys that you can, in fact, use the MLS photos. So I'm going to click this picture and I'm going to replace it with that picture. Okay. Maybe I don't like the way it cropped. I can double click. I can move stuff around. Maybe I just don't like that picture at all. I don't think it lines up well there. Then I can click it again and I can use this one instead. I think that looks a little bit better, but maybe I want to make it a little bit bigger, like so. And I want to move it up just a little bit like that and center it and click done. And I'm like, okay, I like that better. So now the front of my postcard's done. I've got the back of my postcard. So I can come through and I can just change it. Obviously, I would have already had this set up from the last time that I made a postcard, but I would just change out the stuff for that listing. I wouldn't have to redo the postcard every single time. And the same thing with the social media post, right? So if I have my file set up, these are my listing materials every single time. That is a huge time saver because I just go into my listing marketing and I go, okay, here's my just listed post that I do on Facebook. And I go, okay, I'm going to duplicate it. It's going to make me a copy. I'm going to double click to open. I'm going to click on the house after it loads. With my slow internet, we're just going to wait and be patient. I'm going to click on the house. I'm going to come to the left to the KWLS. I'm going to get my listing, 1803 Meadowbrook. Yes, Meadowbrook Drive. Like so. And I'm just going to switch out the images, right? Just so much faster than having to recreate it every time. I can click the address. I can click listing details. I can come down here and just click the recycle button and it changed out the address for me, right? So I hope you guys think that that's awesome. It's definitely a time saver. Saves you guys from having to type stuff over and over and over again, which is really nice, right? And it builds your brand. So do we have questions on any of that? editing, how we edit the designs, how we can share. I showed you guys the share button from within the design, and then I'm going to show you in a
Is that
minute.
where we would do the business cards as well?
Business cards, it's going to depend on your market center. I know that some of the market centers provide you your first set of business cards. That's a discussion with the person that onboarded you and your leadership team. They do have business cards in this system. I personally don't do my business cards there because I'm cheap. I just go to wherever I'm going to get the cheapest deal right now, and I design something in their system. If I'm being quite candid, the last time I think I used Vistaprint and just made these little cards on Vistaprint.
And so did you download, because that's what I'm getting ready to do. I found a really good deal at Allegra Print. And so for 100, it was $20 through KW, and they do like 500 for $70 full color. So am I able to create here somewhere and then just send it to them?
I mean, I'm sure that you can, and I'm not familiar with that
Okay,
company, but there
there you
are
go.
business cards in here
Perfect.
that you
Perfect.
can
Okay.
design, but their system might already have business cards in there, and that might even be easier.
Yep. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? When you like
Yep.
log in, they might have some already laid out that you can just switch stuff out on.
Cool.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So tons of stuff here. We've got business basics. We've got holidays. They're broken down by months. I love them broken down by months. We've got nothing in August. Like there's like no holidays in August. It's weird. But it's almost September, right? After August, we've got fall. We've got Labor Day. We've got Hispanic Heritage Month. Cool. So we have all kinds of stuff that we can do in September, October, November, and December. Tons of holidays for you guys to get to come in here and make it your chance to really up your social media game, right? I mean, there's so many posts that you can make and so much stuff that you can do in the upcoming 4 months after August. So get yourself ready to go, right? So many designs. We have all kinds of stuff in here though. We have some luxury stuff. Just remember, luxury has a floor. So in Winston-Salem specifically, I know it's 700,000. Chapel Hill, I think you guys are 800,000. Greensboro, oh gosh, I think y'all are 700,000, but I'm not positive. So make sure you double check. So don't use luxury branding unless it's a luxury property, right? It's got to be above that luxury floor in order to be called luxury. But you've got all kinds of stuff in here that you can use in designs. So I don't want to take all of our time here, but definitely get in here and play around. It's really a good opportunity for you to market your business, right? Marketing based, prospecting enhanced. That's what we've talked about from the MREA, and that gives you a lot of marketing opportunities. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to show you that we can have more than one command window open at one time. And quite often I do have more than one command window open at one time, because when you're in the designs platform, did you notice something? We don't have all of the command applets on the left. It's kind of taking us into its own ecosystem when we're in designs, right? So a lot of times if I'm working in designs, I just have it open off to the side while I'm doing it, and then I open another window for anything else I want to do in command. And you can have multiple windows open at one time. And so now that we are here, we are going to go to campaigns, which is one of my favorite things that we can do in here. So I've told you guys, lead with revenue. You're not making a lot of money yet when you first get into real estate. You have time and not money. Eventually, you're going to have money and not time. That's when you start paying other people to do your stuff. But when you first get started, you are your own leverage, right? And so try your best not to spend a lot of money, okay? Social media posts are free. The only thing they're costing you is time. So the most important thing for you to do to start building your brand on social media is to post consistently, right? Consistent posting is what builds an audience. It is not overnight. It is not overnight. It's not going to be overnight. It takes time to build up that audience, right? And the most important way to get there is to do it consistently and to do a combination of different types of posts. Okay. So through command, we can schedule posts. Okay. And when I say you can schedule them, I mean you can schedule them pretty far out. Okay. So we have some quick posts, and I'm hoping that they give us more of these much, much sooner. But for right now, we have what we have. And it just so happens that right in front of my face, things that are super popular right now, pumpkin spice football, cozy clothes, right? It's not fall yet, y'all. It's summer. I'm going to go swimming this afternoon. Okay. But guess what I can do? Hey, Google, what's the first day of fall in 2022?
September 22nd.
Cool.
On the website, thepioneerwoman.com,
Google, stop.
they say,
Okay. So watch September 22nd. I'm going to hit this little forward arrow. Okay. Things that are popular right now, if I didn't like what this said, I could quick shuffle and change it, but I'm going to stick with fall. I'm going to come down here to schedule post. I'm going to click this calendar. I'm going to go forward. I'm going to go 22nd, 10 a.m. sounds good to me. And it's going to post it to my business page. Things that are super popular right now. It's the first day of fall. Schedule post. Done. The first day of fall, that post is going to go to my Facebook page, right? So you can use command to schedule out several posts so that you don't have to worry about them later. So that was one of the reasons I was going to take you guys to KW Connect. One of the biggest things I get asked is, well, I don't know what to post. I don't know what to post. That's okay. We have some of these social posts, but there's not that many of these, and they can get boring if you use them all over again, right? The neighborhood videos are really cute. We'll look at that in just a second. But I also want to bring your attention to KW Connect, because when you come to KW Connect, they give us all kinds of stuff like a monthly social calendar, right? Check this out. 30 social content ideas, 31 August prompts to make your social media marketing a walk in the park. Click. We've got this article right here. If you don't know what to post, here's some ideas. Week 1, first day of the month, first day of the week, check in with your audience about their yearly goals. What goals do they have for the rest of the year? Ask your followers to chime in with how their goals are going, right? So whatever you want to share, you don't have to use every one of these ideas, but it's a good way to prompt your thought process into what you might want to post. And it goes on for the whole month, right? So yes, you can schedule posts like I showed you guys, which is great. But that is not the only thing I want you to do, because Facebook's algorithm, Instagram's algorithm, they don't like it when all you do is schedule stuff to go out ahead of time, because they want you to actively engage with their site. Okay. So use this as an opportunity, schedule out those holidays or just a couple of fun posts here and now so that you don't have to stress about having consistent content, right? But then the other stuff that happens, I just listed this. This just went under contract. I'm doing an open house this weekend. This is my buyer's testimonial that they gave me. This is my seller's testimonial that they gave me. Those are going to come when they come. We want to keep our social media posts 80% personal, 20% business, right? So a combination of posting to our personal page, posting to our business page, sharing things from our business page to our personal page, going live, posting a video, switch it up. The algorithm loves that and pushes you higher up the more that you interact, right?
Hey, Monica,
Go ahead, Gabby.
do you have is there a resource on your site for setting up your Facebook business page?
No, I mean, it's pretty, when you go to Facebook, okay. That's a great question, though. You're just going to come to Facebook and you're going to go to pages. If my stuff will load, it's just killing me. Being so slow. I don't even know where pages is there. You're going to go to pages over here on the left,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to click create a new page.
Okay.
Okay. Just follow the prompts. It's going to want a picture. I showed you where to get some of those in designs, right? I'll take you to I have a couple of business pages from where I've just set them up. What is going on out there? I live at the corner of a four-way stop in Old Sherwood Forest, and apparently somebody is not happy out at that four-way stop because they're honking at each other. Okay, so here's one of my main business page, right? This is the one that I've had for a long time, but you can see like I have the Mega Agent Camp because that's coming up as my cover photo. And then here's just some random posts that I've done through command or straight here. But it's going to want you to have a cover photo. So make sure you go to designs and get yourself a cover photo first, right?
Okay.
Something that you like. It's going to just want your name, right? I am not in compliance though, so let me take you to one that is. I've had that Winston-Salem, Forsyth County real estate since 2009, I think, when business pages first became a thing. So I want to show you guys one that is compliant. You want your name to be Gabby at Keller Williams Realty Elite, or Gabby Realtor with KW Elite, or whatever your company is going to be called. If you're going to be called, what was your last name, Gabby?
Robinson.
Yeah, if it's going to be Robinson Realty at KW Elite, whatever it's going to be.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? As long
Yep.
as it references the company in the name of the page.
Yep.
So that's what make sure you have that in your mind, right? Need to update this because that was from February, but this is just one that I set up to show you guys, right? Groundhog Day post, things like posting articles that come out about Keller Williams, first day of fall, first day of spring, first day of summer, Happy New Year, Happy 4th, Happy Women's Month, Daylight Savings Time, holidays, right? Just all the things. That's the consistent part. And then all of the business stuff is going to just come when it comes, right? We get lots of stuff like we get ranked on LinkedIn's list and training lists and all kinds of stuff that you can share on your page. So just get that consistency going. And you can post those things straight through command. You can schedule some out way in advance. We're having a class, I think it's August 2nd. Hold on. Monica. Epic fail today. Yes, August 2nd. We are going to be having a class and we're going to go through actually scheduling a bunch of stuff out, scheduling it out, and coming up with content and other ways that it's good to kind of save your content, but you're going to actually post it on that day so that the algorithm likes you better. So we're going to do that on the 2nd of August. Okay, cool. Any questions about social post? I mean, really get in here and take a look. You can also click create campaign. We looked at those quick posts, but let's look at actually building a social post, right? So earlier we talked about our magazine, right? Here's one that you could do. Check out my new magazine for tips and tricks to beat the heat. Boop. Right? And we had this image that we downloaded and saved, right? This one, that's the cover of the magazine that we edited. Okay, so I could just upload that image. And that's going to be the picture on my post. I'm gonna crop. And I hope I still have it on my clipboard. Yep, there's the link. Click the link. Right. Grab a cold beverage. Kick back. And click this link to read. Right? There's my post. Check out my brand new magazine for tips and tricks to beat the heat. Grab a cold beverage, kick back, click this link to read. It's going to take them to that digital version of the magazine that I edited so that they can hopefully read and enjoy and get some value out of that content. I could choose to schedule the post to go out at a later date, or I could publish it immediately. And I would just click publish post and it would go off to my Facebook business page, right? So you could come up with 5 million different things to post here, right? We talked about some of them yesterday. We can use our website. We can say, here are homes with pools for sale in Winston-Salem. Here are luxury homes for sale in Greensboro that were recently reduced. Here are homes for sale in Chapel Hill in whatever school district is popular in Chapel Hill, right? Whatever it is that you can think of that you can search for on your website, you can make a cute graphic for it in Designs, and you can post it directly to Facebook from command with links to your website that now has forced registration. So that's kind of how everything is going to be working together, right? So questions on the social media posting part. This is by far and away what I want you guys to do first because it's free. Okay, if it's free, it's for me. Any questions? Got all these quick posts. I'll show you the neighborhood video real quick. For these neighborhood videos, it's a quick post, so you just hit the arrow. The only downside is it does have to be neighborhoods, right? You can't do zip codes, you can't do cities. So come in here and do a little bit of research as to what neighborhoods you might want to target and then use those for this. So I know that Buena Vista is a pretty good one for this. So I'm just going to stick with it. Monica. Wow. I cannot type today. Buena Vista, Winston-Salem. NC.
Are those neighborhoods still in line? Are those also in line with next door neighborhoods?
These are the next door
Perfect.
neighborhoods. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So I'm going to choose Buena Vista. Now I've got my little check. I'm going to click next. If you're super specific and particular and you want to go to the MLS and check that all these numbers are right, you are welcome to do so. I am not going to do that. I'm good with this. It's close enough. All these stats change all the time, right? Something might have just sold in Buena Vista. We don't know. So you can be as particular with it as you want. I just want to get it posted. My agent information is already there. My market center brokerage information is already there. That's coming from the marketing profile that we talked about on Monday. I'm going to click next. It's going to generate my video for me. Okay, I'm going to show you the video. Bear with me one sec.
Hey, Monica, where does it pull that information from? Like the community information?
That's a great question. I'm going to show you. Okay. So On our websites the other day when we were looking at the little neighborhood pages, let me go back there. I'm going to show you something that it does for you there. Hold on 1 sec. Just search for Buena Vista since that's what we just looked at. So here's that neighborhood page. And if you look on here, it shows you where all the data is coming from because it's public, right? We got to make sure we're disclosing stuff. So when you're coming through here, the market snapshot, properties for sale are coming from the MLS, obviously. What locals say, oh, it's gone. It used to say spatial AI down here, that's where it was coming from. Nearby schools is coming from, there you go, provided by Precisely and subject to change, but spatial AI was the one that was bringing this what locals say information.
Okay.
And this is Yelp, obviously, because it says Yelp. But it kind of shows them where the information's coming from. I don't know why this one doesn't say spatial AI anymore. It did used to say it on here. But that's where all that stuff is coming from. Cool. So I love those little
Great.
neighborhood videos. They're nice and simple. You just hit the forward button, type the neighborhood in, make sure that it's got some good data, right? If it's got like 2 houses for sale, that's kind of boring, but you know, I always know Buena Vista has quite a few houses for sale, so it's usually a fun one to do. And you could schedule it or you could do it immediately. Any questions on social posts? Get in there and explore. You know, I could spend an hour on each one of these individually, but we just don't have the time to do that. So let's head into direct mail unless anybody has a question. Good. Cool. Direct mail. Love this. Hey, if you want to target specific neighborhoods with farming with postcards, this is one way that you can do it. I always like to be completely candid with you guys because I love you. Lenders, lots of lenders do postcards for you. In exchange, they want the lender of choice to be on the postcard with you, and you split the cost with them. And they do like a 12-month recipe campaign. They do clocks forward, clocks back, happy first day of spring, fall, summer, winter. Just listed, just sold, under contract, closed. They do all kinds of postcards like that. So talk to your lenders and see if they do that because it can save you some money and some time. But that being said, you can also make postcards in here, which is awesome, right? So we're going to look at it pretty quickly. We're going to go to create campaign. We're going to do direct mail. We're going to just stick with 1803 Meadowbrook. Hopefully I can remember the listing, and we're going to say we're advertising a listing for time's sake. So you can create postcards in Designs, but the postcard section also has its own built-in templates. So it just depends on which one you like for your business. I'm going to go ahead and click create campaign. Okay. If you had a listing, it would show up here. I don't have listings, so I'm going to go to all listings. And I'm going to search for that 1803 Meadowbrook listing that we were looking at. Was that? Did I get it wrong? I might have, knowing today. No, 1803 Meadowbrook Drive. I was right. Meadowbrook Drive. Salem. Might need me to be a little bit more specific. Okay, I feel like I'm losing it now. Oh, I don't have an A in Meadow. That would help, probably. Yeah. All right, so we're going to click select. We're going to pretend, thanks to Abby Umhoff, it's her listing. We're going to pretend it's ours. We're going to go to content. I can select a template. There's the compact template, 4x6, a default template, which is 6x9, or these large templates, which I love, especially because it's pulling in the description from the MLS. And for a house that nice, it's probably pretty long. In fact, it's 999 characters, and the maximum allowed on the jumbo card is 1,000. So we're right under that number of characters, right? You can see it brought in the listing, bedrooms and bathrooms, and price and address, but it didn't bring in the status. So is it just listed, just sold, or coming soon? We're going to say it's just listed. Okay. We're going to come down here to listing photo. Here's where I want you guys to pay a little bit of attention. We can pull the images out of MLS, but our MLS, amongst about 7 others in the country, I don't have an answer for why. When they syndicate the images back out, they're a low resolution image. So it's going to warn me that it's a low resolution image, right? If it was your listing, you would have the photographer's images. Use one of those so it's super high quality. I'm just showing you this for informational purposes, right? So I'm going to click save. It's going to say the resolution on the image is too low. I know, but I'm going to go ahead and use the image anyway for the sake of this example. Okay. You would upload your good high quality image there, right? Another thing that happens is it doesn't bring in our state and zip code, and I still don't have an answer for that either, but no big deal. I'm going to drop this down and I'm going to pick North Carolina, and I'm going to pick 27103 and verify my company address. It wants that extra 4 digits on the zip code, so I'm going to confirm that. Okay, so now my content's good, my market center is good, check, check. Targeting. The address is this. Am I targeting that address? Probably. If it's for a listing, maybe I'm doing something different. Then I might try to target a different address for a specific reason, like if I was farming, right? Or I could choose to target my database. If you're going to target your database, you want to make sure that you have all those addresses in there, and you're going to need to add contacts. This is where tags become important, right? I told you guys how important it was to have tags. This is why, if you were going to be targeting your database with postcards, you might want to have a tag called postcard for the ones that you want to send it to on a regular basis, so that you could look it up and pick that group of people to send the postcard to. But we're just going to stick with local targeting around this listing. And we're going to click save. And now under budget, I'm using those jumbo cards, remember? So 200 is going to cost me $184 for standard postage. If I wanted first class postage, it's going to cost me $240. Okay. I may say, whoo, I can't pay that. Maybe I only want to do 100 postcards instead. Okay, I feel better about this. Save. Okay. Any questions about this piece? We're good? Awesome. Over here, we could choose to put a QR code on our postcard, but in order to do that, we need to have a landing page. So we talked about landing pages yesterday and how you could build one to a specific image, right? You would, or to a specific listing, then you would need to add that landing page in order to use that tracking with the QR code that would actually show up on the back right here. So if someone scanned the QR code, it would take them to that website. It would capture that lead for you. Okay. Questions on the tracking QR code? Good. I'm going to turn it off for now. Cool. I'm going to move forward to configure targeting. Okay. I picked 100. I'm going to move this up so you can see it. I picked 100 addresses. So there's my pinpoint in the middle, and those are the 100 addresses around it that it's going to go to. Okay. I could say, no, I want to go up. I want to do more. Then it would pull in some new addresses, or I could take it down, right? Maybe I want to go somewhere in the middle. Maybe I was like, that's not reaching quite as far as I want. I would really rather do like 150, right? Then I could do that. Do I only want it to go to single family homes or multi-family homes? Okay. Y'all want to change bedroom, square footage, year built, all that kind of fun stuff. I always send a copy to myself because I want to make sure that it gets out, right? I could also choose to draw on the map. So maybe I'm like, hold on. Let me reset that. Let me move this. I'm going to scroll out a little bit so I can see better. There we go. So maybe I'm like, okay, no, I could do a radius. I can draw. I can do a polygon. Maybe I want to draw. Maybe I want to keep these out. So then I could just draw right along Renolda Road. Maybe I just want to keep it between Renolda and Robin Hood Road up to Stratford and back down. Then I could do that, right? And that would change how many postcards are getting sent, etc. Does that make sense? So I can draw if I want to. And then I would click next. And then I would enter my payment and stuff like that. I could also schedule this. This just came out. I now have the ability to schedule my launch for a later date. Okay. So I could say, I want this to come out up to 14 days in advance. That does not mean that's when it's going to hit their email, their inbox. That is when it's going to start production. And production takes 3 to 4 business days. So if I did it on a Friday, it's not going to come out until later in the week. So maybe I want it to come out for the weekend. So I start it on the 8th. That gives them the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th to produce and send. Then it'll hit them on the weekend, right? So even if you schedule it to go out later, payment is still coming out immediately. So I want to make sure that I make that clear to you guys. Just because you schedule it out for later, payment still comes out right now. Okay. And in order to cancel it, if you post it and then you're like, oh, I didn't mean to do that, or I don't like it, or I changed my mind, you have a total of 4 hours. I lied. You have a total of 3 hours to cancel it. In the first 2 hours, you can come into command and cancel it. In that last hour, you have to go to Real Mailers website, which is who powers these postcards, and you have to cancel it through Real Mailers in that last hour. Past that 3-hour window, it cannot be canceled. Okay. So any questions on direct mail postcards? We're feeling good about that? Cool. All right. Email campaigns. So we talked about, oh, I just realized something. We came out of designs. We have to go back. We looked at print designs. We looked at social designs, but we didn't look at email design. So this time I'm going to click create design and click email. Continue. Actually, probably works better to show you together. When you come in here, you have 72 templates that KWRI has provided to us. So we have a combination of holiday emails, birthday emails, open house templates where you would need to add your listings information, Valentine's, Thanksgiving, right? Lead conversion, work with me seller, work with me buyer, birthday, promote your app, home anniversary, right? So we have all these emails that KW provided to us. Some of them, like protect your credit, I'm going to use that one as an example. It is done. I don't need to do anything for this. It's written. Any of this stuff that has asterisks on it is going to fill in for me from my marketing profile, right? I can come up to options and preview it, and you can see it's pulling in my company's logo, my image, my phone number, my license number, my company info down here. All of that stuff is coming from that marketing profile, right? So I don't have to worry about adding all of that stuff myself. It just does it on its own. and this is good to go, right? So I'm going to put a date on this so I know which one it is. Today is 7/28, and I'm going to click save. And it saved it, and I'm going to close it. Okay. So say that is the email that I want to send. You can send these designed emails through Smart Plans, which we discussed on Monday and a little bit on Tuesday, or you can send them through campaigns. So let's look at sending one through campaigns. We looked at in Smart Plans where you add the step with an email. You could choose a simple email, right? Or you could have chosen the design email. This is where those design emails come from. So if I come to create campaign and I pick email, what am I doing? It's brand awareness, right? So this one is a protect your credit email. I can use command mail, which is what Command provides to us, KW provides to us. We get 5,000 free emails a month. So that includes Smart Plan emails, monthly neighborhood nurtures, all that kind of stuff. It also includes any of those client update emails that we talked about the day we talked about opportunities. 5,000 total in a month. If you find out you're getting close to that, it warns you. I'm going to show you that once we're into the email section. It's going to show you how many emails you have left to send, and then you will be able to upgrade if you need to. Okay. If you came from a different company and you were using MailChimp, you can still use MailChimp if you want. Okay. We're going to click create campaign. All right. So now that we're here, our campaign name is here. Our reply to email address is what's going to be here. So if someone replies to this email address, it's going to come to my monicaperry@kw.com email. I need to have a recipient list. If I haven't created one yet, I need to click create list. Again, here's where tags could be really helpful. If this is the people that you want to email, you might have a tag that says email list so that you could just look them up instead of having to search for them. Okay. But I already have, you would give it a name and then you would add the contacts that you want. I already have some lists. So I'm just going to pick Dakota Test. It's just one email that I use as a test. Okay. So I have some lists already set up. So it's going to come from me. It's going to reply to my KW email address. I'm going to enter the subject. Protect your credit. I love to use emojis in my email titles because I think it makes them stick out a little bit better. So you can insert emojis if you want. Like a little money right there. Okay. And then I'm going to click select design. So this is where you're going to see your templates that you've already made, and you have access to the KW templates that you haven't yet edited if you want. In Smart Plans, you only have access to your own templates, not these KWRI templates, just so you know. Okay. So you're going to use this one that we just edited to our liking. It's going to show you one last time what it's going to look like. You have the ability to edit it if you need to. If you wanted a video that said, hey, it's Monica, just wanted to check in with you and your family. Hope you're enjoying your summer and that you enjoy this article on how to protect your credit, right? Then you could insert a video there or something if you wanted. Okay. And then I can save this and then hit the X. It's going to confirm that I'm saving this email template into my campaign. Now I'm going to see a preview of the email over here on the right. I've got my subject. I've got my content. There's my preview. I could schedule it to go out later, or I can go ahead and send that off. It's going to say I'm about to send. It's going to give me one last chance to double check it. And then I can click send now, and off it went. Okay. Then I'm going to have my list of emails. Go ahead.
Monica, as I'm getting people set up in Command, and we have their birthday, are we able to like schedule that card in advance, right? It could be
Smart-
single
You
person
have
or
a
group.
smart plan for birthdays. And what that smart plan does, Gabby, is 6 days before their birthday, it sends you a task that says mail Monica a card for her birthday. It doesn't send the card for you.
Right.
It tells you to do it. Now, that being said, you brought up a good point. In designs, there is a postcard for a birthday.
Yeah, I saw that. That caught my eye. So I
So you could
schedule it.
make a postcard, one postcard, and you can mail it to one recipient for their birthday. You can do that. Or you can
Okay.
just, I have like a little rolling card over here and it's full of like sympathy cards, birthday cards, congratulations cards, all that kind of stuff. So you could just mail one too, but you could do a postcard through here, 100%.
Or like a
You can
birthday
only
email.
schedule it. You could do a birthday email too. Yes, 100% you could do that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's a birthday smart plan. Then it's like the day before, it tells you to text them happy birthday, call them. Then on the day of their birthday, it texts them and it tells you to post it to their social media. So it's kind of a combination of touches for a birthday. But this is how the email campaign works. And like I said, once you've sent it, it will say mailed, how many were sent, how many were opened, how many clicks did you get, right? I can actually click into it and get a little bit more detail. Let me open one that I sent to more than one person. Hold on. Let me open this one. Right. So this one was sent to 10. One opened it, 0 clicked it, right? These are just tests, but you get the point. If you had sent this to your database, you would get to see those insights as to who is opening it, who's clicking through it. You can even add tags to them, right? You can see I added doesn't open email. This is my brother, by the way. But you can add tags to them and all that kind of fun stuff too, right? So email campaigns is pretty cool little thing that you got going on in here. So any questions on email campaigns before we move forward? Because I know that we're running short on time. We're having to go over a little bit today because I'm combining today and tomorrow. And we had a little medical emergency this morning. Okay, so we're going to look at social ads paid. If you take one thing away from today, take away this. Do not run a Facebook ad before you have a smart plan that's going to follow up with the leads. Do not do it to yourself. Some of these ads can get upwards of 40 plus leads. No human can follow up the way you need to follow up to convert an online lead unless you have a system in place. So before you ever think about running a paid Facebook ad, please go to Smart Plans, search the word Facebook in the library, find a follow-up plan that you like, put it in your own library, and edit it. You will thank yourself later. Just like I showed you with the designs where you can make a copy, say that this month your listing is in 27106 and you run a Facebook ad and you have that smart plan set up and it says, check out these listings in 27106. And you have a link to your website like I've shown you guys. But then next month you list a house in 27104. Then you can make a copy of that smart plan and just edit out the pieces that you need. You don't have to keep recreating it over and over again. You can just edit out what you need to edit, okay? But 50-to-1 conversion ratio on these leads, right? Sometimes it's a little bit higher, sometimes it's a little bit lower. Fortune is in the follow-up. You have to follow up with internet leads to get them to convert, okay? So we're gonna stick with advertising a listing. You can run Facebook ads for all different kinds of stuff, and I've shown you guys that, right? Just open houses this weekend, just reduced in 27104, homes with pools in Winston-Salem. If you don't have a listing, those are ideas of things that you could run an ad for, right? So take it for what you will. You can run an ad on just Facebook, Facebook and Instagram, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just Instagram. It's up to you. I have not run an ad on Instagram. I don't have a business account on Instagram. From what I have been told by people who do it, Facebook is better for capturing leads. Instagram is better for impressions, which means it's getting your brand awareness out there more. So some people do a combination of both. Whatever is right for your business is what you should do. For today's example, we're just going to stick with Facebook. I'm advertising a listing on Facebook. I'm going to create the campaign. Okay. All right. So we are going to change this because I don't have listings to all listings. I'm going to search for 1803 Meadow Brook, Winston, Salem, search. There it is. There's the one we've been working on. Okay. I'll let that load. It's going to put the picture over here on the right. It's going to pull some of that verbiage out of the MLS. Headline is only 25 characters long. Why? Less is more when it comes to Facebook ads. You don't want a lot of words. You want people to have to click to learn more. You're giving a snack, not a meal. Make sense? So I usually like to do something like welcome home, or you could hit up an agent that I've known for years in the area with some of her ideas, like beautiful in Buena Vista, cute in Clemens, lovely in Louisville, right? Whatever you want to do for your business. It's a very short little description on this headline. Under the description, it says, try this. You could be coming home to this. Why do you think they're suggesting it? Because they've tested it and it worked, right? You want it to be short. You don't want them to have to scroll to see your message. So I'm just going to say, yes, use that suggestion. You could be coming home to this. Sounds great. Okay. I'm going to save it. Facebook settings, configure. This is where it comes into play that you have to have a business page. I need to select my business page in order to run the ad. Okay. It recommends that we use the Facebook lead generation form. Why? Because that's what works. What happens with this is the person goes, dang, that's a pretty house and I love that area. Click, and they click on learn more. And when they click on that, it captures their data and it puts it in command as a lead. And if you have a smart plan set up, I'm going to show you how you can automate that smart plan to take off once they click. Okay. But when they click on learn more, you have to take them somewhere to do what? To learn more, right? Deliver on the message that you're giving them. And what we're telling them is if you click on this, you're going to get to learn more. Okay. So that means you have to give them somewhere to go. Enter a website URL. You could also build a landing page. We looked at those yesterday, or you can just go to your own website like so. And I can search for 1803 Meadowbrook in Winston-Salem. Okay. So, oh, I've got to log in because I have that forced registration set up. I can go to my own website and do this. This link takes them to this property on my website. What can they do on my website right here? They can learn more about the property because they can see the pictures, because they can see the price, because they can see the property description and the number of bedrooms, and they can ask me a question, and they can get to Keller Mortgage, and they can get to Keller Covered, and they can explore Buena Vista, and they can see what locals say and walkability scores and nearby schools, right? We're giving them the opportunity to learn more with that link. So I'm going to paste that link right here in this box. Does that make sense to everybody? Good? Cool. All right. So then we're going to come down here to audience. We have the ability to save custom audiences if we want. There are different schools of thought on this. Some people are like, I don't touch it. I just leave it at a radius of 20 miles around the listing city, and that's all I do. And I click save and I move on. Some people come in here and customize their audience, and they search for interest, and they search for people that like to look on things that rhyme with pillow, because it does exist in here. If my internet would catch up, you would see that. There. So people that are interested in things that rhyme with pillow might be looking for houses, so I could use that as an interest. Watch what happened. Without, I have an audience of 631,600 people. When I add it, come on, internet, work with me. Driving me crazy today. Here we go. When I choose it, I went from 631,600 to 131,600, taking me almost to being too specific, but still within the green. Okay, so you can choose your audience based on what you want. Just make sure that you're checking out that audience definition to gauge how many people are actually going to get reached by your campaign. Okay. You can make the location bigger or smaller, the radius bigger or smaller. You could save this audience for later use. Does anybody have any questions?
Hey, Monica,
Facebook. Go ahead, Gabby.
when they click and you said it, so my question is, if they're forced to register, it enters their information in command and they
Forced
get to view-
registration on your website is not going to have anything to do with this, because as soon as they click on that Facebook link, it is going to capture their stuff.
and it'll enter it into,
Command.
it'll be in
As a
command.
lead. Mhm.
Yes, okay.
Yep. Cool. All right. Great questions. So I'm going to save this. So now here's those lead settings. This is what's so cool. We talked about how important it is to have that smart plan in place before you ever run this ad. I can automatically tag these folks. So I can say these came in on Facebook ad for 1803 Meadowbrook. So I know exactly where they came from. I can create that tag right from here. I like my Facebook tags to be purple. So I know it came in from a Facebook ad that was run on 1803 Meadowbrook. Why is that important? Because one of the steps in my smart plan for a Facebook follow-up, if they don't answer me at the end of the smart plan, I make sure that I add some neighborhoods to their contact card and I drop them into a monthly neighborhood nurture. So even though they're not talking to me now, forever and ever, they're going to get an email from me once a month. Right? So it's important to me to know what they clicked on. If Buena Vista made them click, that might be one of the neighborhoods and some surrounding neighborhoods to it that I want to add to their contact card, especially if they're not talking to me yet, because that happens with internet leads, right? So I'm going to automatically tag them, and I'm going to automatically put them on my Facebook follow-up plan. So that's automatically going to drop them into that smart plan. My smart plan starts off telling me to call them, but if it's late at night, I'm not going to call them. So simultaneously, it sends them an email and says, hey, contact first name. Thanks so much for checking out the home I posted on Facebook. Are you looking to buy right now, or were you just, curious? And it goes into an email to them. Then it delays a day. Then it sends them a text. Then it delays a day. Then it tells me to call them. Then it delays a day. Then it tells me to do this, right? So this is automatically going to drop them into that smart plan, which is awesome. Questions about lead settings area? Automatically tagging, automatically dropping into Smart Plan. Cool, save. Duration and budget. Last but certainly not least, they recommend $1 per channel per day. So if you're running this on Facebook and Instagram for 10 days, $1 a day is 20 bucks, right? If you're just running it on Facebook for 10 days, they recommend $1 per channel per day. That would be 10 bucks. Explore a little bit. You don't have to break the bank. See what happens. Run it for 10 bucks, run it for 15, run it for 25, whatever you're comfortable with, right? Whatever you're comfortable with. You can choose how many days you run it for. Maybe you want to run it a little bit longer, you can. Just make sure that you know that it takes up to 24 hours for it to get reviewed on Facebook. 24 hours for it to get reviewed and posted to Facebook. So if you're running it for a specific time, right, then we want to make sure that we are taking that into account. Like, it's too late for me today on Thursday to run one for an open house on Sunday. Does that make sense? Doesn't have enough time to saturate the market with that information. Wanted to start a little bit earlier in the week. Cool. So then you save your duration and budget. Publish. It asks you to put your information in, your credit card and all that kind of fun stuff. Takes up to 24 hours. That thing starts to run. I'm going to save this as a draft so I can take you back to my paid ads tab. Here's my last one that completed. Look at that. $1.39 per lead. Excuse me. You can go on the Carolinas YouTube channel. There is a guy, I cannot think of his name. Hold on. I'm going to drop this link in the chat for y'all anyway. Cannot think of his name. Carolina Keller Williams. Oh, there it is. Building team videos. How to create a winning Facebook ad in Command. Go watch this video. He keeps it as simple as possible, man. I mean, super simple. He doesn't change stuff. He just, I showed you guys how to run it. He doesn't change or add audience. He doesn't change the cost. He just puts it in there and hits send. And he has gotten hundreds of leads for like under $1 per lead. It's crazy. Go watch that video. It's so awesome. Okay. I dropped the Carolinas in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to that and make sure you subscribe to mine if you haven't already. Okay. All right. So that took us through paid ads. So that covered what we would have covered on day 4 of boot camp. Okay. Now, since there's only 2 of you in here, do you want to take a break and come back? Or do you guys want to go over tasks? And all we're going to go over is tasks briefly. We're going to look at referrals, the listings applet, and that's pretty much it. Do you want a break?
I'm fine if you want to keep.
Say it again.
I'm fine if you want to keep going.
Okay, cool. Gabby, you're good?
Me too, yep.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, so tasks. Pretty simple. I like tasks quite a bit. They got upgraded. They look nice. Currently, internet, work with me here. I'm going to close some stuff out. We don't need. I closed the wrong command. That's okay. We're going to go back in. Because I'm going to be able to share my phone with you in a minute. Okay, tasks. So tasks can be accessed from different places, right? You've got your applet, which is all of your tasks. I'm going to show you what it looks like when it finishes loading. We're going to create a task. Okay, I can associate a contact to that task. So I'm going to use my trusty Sidekick Dakota. So this is a task specifically for Dakota. I could make this task associated to multiple contacts. I could make it not associated to any contact, just a general task. Clean up your desk this afternoon, whatever, right? I can mark this as a call task, and we're going to because I want you to see what it looks like here in a sec. Task name is automatically going to be call Dakota Perry because Dakota is the contact associated. I'm marking it as a call task, right? Priority level, high, medium, low. Maybe it's important. I can give it a description. I can give it a due date and time. So maybe I want it to be due at 1 o'clock. Okay. And I'm going to create that task. So there it is. It's on my task list of things I have to do. Now, Tuesday, we talked about opportunities and we talked about opportunity checklist, how you can set those up. And then when you have an actual opportunity that you can give that task a due date to make it become an actual task here. Right now, contact tasks and opportunity tasks are separate. Okay. So opportunity tasks are under a different tab. And this is showing you, this is what all of our tasks used to look like. Okay. KWRI is working on combining the two together. I'll let you guys know as soon as that happens. And we'll just be able to see all opportunity task and contact task in the same spot. But for right now, they're separate. So just remember that if you come to task and you're like, well, I know that it was supposed to tell me to drop my sign off and do this and do this and do this. It's under the other tab. Okay. So I just want to make sure I bring that to your attention. Okay. All right. We are all going to pray together that my phone is cooperative because it's been being kind of not my phone itself, my internet has been being a bear today and sometimes it won't work. Cool. Yes. Marking something as a call task is really cool because in your command app on your phone, your tasks are up here at the top. So watch what happens. I can click on my task. Here's that one I just created. I'm supposed to call Dakota at 1 o'clock. It's almost 1 o'clock, right? All I have to do is hit the call button and call them directly from here. I can choose to use my primary phone number, which is my cell phone number, or I could choose to call him using WhatsApp. If you have WhatsApp connected, you can also use a Google Voice number. I get asked that a lot. Yes, you can use Google Voice if you have it on your phone. Okay. So if I call him, I'm going to pretend like I called him. When I go back to command, whether it's immediately or in 2 hours from now, it's going to say, do I want to add this call to Dakota's timeline because I called him through the app? Or if I text him through the app, it's going to ask me if I want to record what that was. So that was a habit that I had to form in myself when I'm reaching out to you guys, is to generate the call and the text from the app, because then it makes me, doesn't make me, but it gives me the opportunity to record what we did. Did he answer? Did I leave a voicemail? Did we talk? You know, we talked about financing.
So if he didn't answer, then I could just, from my phone, schedule another time.
Yep. You could just say no answer. And that,
Click on the date, right?
yeah. What right now you're just saying you're recording the call and then watch what happens. If I
Okay.
save, does it want me to complete the task? Yes, I'm going to complete the task. Then I'm on the task screen though, right? So I can immediately say, I need to call him back. Call Dakota.
Yes. Okay.
Right? I can set myself a new task for a different date, different time. I can still associate a contact to it, etc. So we can get to tasks from the app. We can get to tasks from our command home screen, but we can also get to our tasks from the actual contacts, right? So I can open Dakota's contact card on my desktop or mobile experience. He's got tasks up here. So I can add it directly from his contact card, right? So that's what I'm saying is that command all kind of works together, right? The email designs feed into smart plans, feed into campaigns. Task has its own applet, but it also lives in opportunities and within our contacts. And it's got a widget on our home screen, both desktop and mobile version. So it kind of all integrates into each other. Does that make sense? And taking notes on our people is like the most important thing that you can do for yourself, because then when you're talking to them, right, you can reference back. Like this literally happened. People laugh about it, or they did when it happened. My son got rear-ended on Valentine's Day. So then that Monday, that was Valentine's Day was a Sunday. That Monday when we were teaching command boot camp, I was like, teenager got into an accident, and taking notes on that. And they were like, oh my God, that's terrible. And I was like, yeah, it actually happened. That's why it's in my head. But that way, the next time that you talk to them, you could be like, man, the last time we talked, your 17-year-old had gotten rear-ended by somebody. Did that all turn out okay? Did the car get fixed? Is he doing okay? Right? You can reference back your last conversation. If you don't take notes, you might not remember what you talked to them about. And in fact, if you're talking to the number of people that you need to be talking to, you're not going to remember, because you would be talking to too many people to remember every single conversation, unless you're some kind of a, what do they call it? The people with a photographic memory, right? It's just an impossibility. So use your tasks, use your notes. Any questions about tasks? Everybody good? Top into referrals. We've already looked at smart plans. You're part of the biggest referral network in the country. Congratulations, maybe even the world. There's about 180,000 of us. So make sure anytime that you go to a class with KW agents that are not just the ones in your market center, that you have business cards and that you're sharing your information. Or if you're in a Zoom call, like my Tech Tuesday call with Carolina Educational Services, there are people from Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee maybe, that are in that class. So use that as an opportunity to connect with other agents. Drop your information in the chat, right? I tell everybody that every time that we get into a class, even from Winston-Salem to Chapel Hill. I don't sell in Chapel Hill. I don't know anything about Chapel Hill. I'm going to refer that, right? So build up those referral partners. So in the referral network, I'm going to say this twice for emphasis. Just because you send the referral through the referral network does not, I repeat, does not mean that you do not need to send the referral agreement. That is the form 760, I think, in North Carolina, that says, I'm sending you this contact. They want to sell a house. It's going to cost about this much money. I expect to get 25% out of it. You have 1 year to get it sold. You have 10 days once it closes to get me my 25% of your commission. That is the legal document. Just because you're sending it through here does not mean that you do not have to send that form. Okay? I want to make sure that y'all understand that. Okay? So that being said, don't pigeonhole yourself just into where you live, right? I don't want to drive to Charlotte to sell anything, because that would be a waste of gas and time. I don't know that market. I can't serve somebody well in the Charlotte market. I don't live in Charlotte. I don't know about it over there. I don't know what new restaurants are coming, or what that construction is, or what that new neighborhood is that's being built down the street. Like I know Winston-Salem, right? So I'm going to refer my brother who lives in Charlotte if he wanted to sell his house, because I couldn't do him a due diligence service of a good real estate agent. Okay, so let's use my brother as an example. I'm going to go into my map in the referral system. I already have an agent in the area, but I want to show you guys how it works. Okay, so now that I'm in the map, I'm going to search the map for Huntersville, North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte, where my brother lives. Okay. Right now, on the right-hand side of the map, it says it found too many agents to display. Please zoom in. Okay. All the green stuff on the map is sales. If I begin to zoom into the map, into Huntersville, watch what happens on the right. I start to see agents. They are currently listed at random. I have filters. If I want to make sure that I'm working with someone else in maps coaching, someone else who sells luxury, is part of the commercial division, is part of the land division, is part of KW Young Professionals. I'm too old for that. Is part of an expansion network or has a military affiliation. I could choose that to narrow down my search. I could also choose by languages spoken. So maybe I needed somebody that spoke Spanish. Then I could narrow it down by that. Maybe I want somebody who has sold at least 5 houses in this area in the last 12 months, or closed this many units, or sold this many listings, or had this many buy-sides or leases at an average listing price of whatever. I could narrow it down if I wanted to. Make sense? So I've got all of that I can use, or I can just choose to sort this by closed units. And that's just going to sort the list. Trent's always up at the top pretty much. I'm already connected to Trent. As you can see, he's missing that second box right there, or technically the first box. That means that Trent is part of my referral network. It doesn't mean that I'm sending Trent a referral today. It means that I connected with Trent because I trust Trent. We have built a relationship. And if my brother or one of my brother's friends needed to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in this area, I know that I can call Trent to help them. Does that make sense? So that's what it means to invite someone to your referral network. Hey, George, my family lives in the area. I live outside. I would love to be able to connect with you in case one of them ever needs to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the Huntersville area, right? You're connecting with that person. Now, if I wanted to send Trent a referral, I would hit that outbound folder, okay? I'd be sending it to Trent. I would tell him how much I expect to get in a referral fee. How long does he have to accept it? What do I think the minimum price or maximum price would be? Is it a buyer, a seller, a tenant, a landlord? And then I would select the client from my database, right? Since Trent is in my network, he would actually get a little bit more information. If he wasn't in my network, let me show you somebody else, like George here. The highlighted message will be kept confidential until the referral is accepted, right? So I would be able to connect my brother's contact card to it. I would say my brother wanted to list his house. I think it's going to be, 550,000 max. And I could write a message. This is for my brother. I could select my brother by searching for Christopher Perry. Boom. And then it would have his stuff in there. And then I would be able to send off the referral. George would have 24 hours to accept it, right? If he accepted it, then he would get my brother's contact information. So that is how referrals work. Any questions on that? One more cool thing I'll show you here in referrals. I'm just going to reset my map and reset everything. If you're ever kind of curious where people are coming to and from in a coordinates to you, and you're in this map, over here, you're looking at production market centers, your network, and referral patterns. If you click on referral patterns, it's showing you where are people in Winston-Salem moving to and at what rate. 4% to Charlotte, Raleigh, 5% to Kernersville, 5% to Raleigh, Asheville, a lot of within North Carolina, a lot of to Morehead City, 2%, right? Got some moving out to Apex, Virginia, Florida, Boone, right? So you can kind of see. You can also reverse this and find out where are people moving here from. Okay, so that people are moving here from Austin, Miami, New York, Maryland, Atlanta, right? So you get to see where people are moving to and from. So I think that's a pretty cool thing that you can do in here. Any questions on referral network? We're good? Cool. We're going to reports. We're not going to spend an awful amount of time here. I just want you guys to go through and take a look at what's here. You can look at it yourself. Database overview, home screen. I've told you guys how important it is to put good quality data in your database. I have a total of 1,404 records. 1,357 of those are my contacts, and 47 of those are leads. That means those are leads or people I've never connected with. You may keep a lot of leads, especially if you're running Facebook ads, right? They're people that you captured their data. They never spoke back with you, never got into a two-way conversation and began building that relationship. That doesn't mean that you purge them from your database. That just means you maybe put them on a longer term nurture plan, like the monthly neighborhood nurture or something like that, that's just periodically reaching out to them in case they decide that they want to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. You want to be the one that helps them. Then you might change them from being a lead to being a contact. Does that make sense to everybody? I just want to make sure that we're clear. Good. Database health score. These are the key functions that make up your database health score. Turn this into a game for yourself, y'all. I cannot stress the importance enough of having people's home addresses when you're a residential real estate agent, right? The predominant number of people in my database are real estate agents that I service because you guys are my clients. So I don't have a lot of y'all's addresses. But if it was my clients as a real estate agent, you need to know where these folks live. You need to have neighborhoods assigned to them. You better bet your bottom dollar you need to put that home anniversary in there when they close and try to get their birthdays, guys, right? Gives you good reasons to reach out to them and good things that you can do. Gamify this for yourself. You can compare yourself to other agents in your market center, state, all agents, agents in the production bracket above yours, and agents in the top production bracket. You can see I'm beating agents in the production bracket above mine, but watch what happens if I change it to the top. They are beating me by a little bit less than 1 point, right? I don't like that. So maybe I set a goal for myself that I want to get to 70% by the end of August. And if I do it, I'm going to go buy myself that new makeup or purse, or if you're a guy, whatever, a golf club, right? Whatever you like. I'm going to set this goal for myself. If I hit it, I'm going to go get myself this reward, or we're going to go out to a fancy dinner, whatever. Make sense? All right. So that's what's hanging out here. Then you have your report section that shows you transactional reports and all that kind of fun stuff. We will get a whole lot more added into the system by way of reports coming soon. So be on the lookout for that. We can set our goals in here. Come October is going to be the time that we're going to be wanting to set our goals for 2023. And that's because everything and activity that we do today takes about 3 months to show up. So October, 3 months before the new year, right? So we're going to want to start setting our 2023 goals around about October. We will have a lot of classes and stuff about goal setting in that time period, okay? So be on the lookout for that. But if you haven't set your 2022 goals, take a minute to come in here. If you're in productivity coaching or on a team, get with the leader of that team, get with your productivity coach, talk about what your goals should be. Activity. We have an activity tracker. So not only is this set up for a team now, you can also set it up for yourself as an individual agent. So if you need something to keep yourself accountable to what you said you wanted to do, the activity tracker is a cool way to do that. If you ever have any questions on it, please feel free to ask me. Again, if you're in productivity coaching, this is already set up for you, at least in Winston-Salem, I know that it is. And if you're on a team, your team may or may not be choosing to use the activity tracker. Lead routing is only if you're the rainmaker of a team. It shows you the lead routes that you set up for different methods of lead generation and submitting those to your team. Emails, we looked at email campaigns. This is all emails. So this is showing you, right, how many emails got marked as spam, how many emails you have sent, how many emails were sent down here, the rate of delivery and open and all that kind of stuff. I can change this between applets. I can only look at my campaign emails. I can only look at my smart plan emails, and those other emails are the ones that are sent out of the system, like the client updates, offer comparison emails, stuff like that. So I can break that down and get a little bit better picture of what's happening with emails. And if I'm using Twilio, I can look at a record of my text and calls and how many credits I'm using. How many credits do I have? Do I need to upgrade, downgrade my plan? I probably need to downgrade my plan, but it's showing you how that works there. Okay, so that's everything in reports, unless you guys have a question about reports. Good. All right, listings. This is going to get a major overhaul and I'm super excited about it. But for now, still pretty cool, right? So you could add office exclusive listings in here if you have an office exclusive listing by clicking create a new listing up here. So at least the Keller Williams office would be able to see your listing, right? Only. That's on the only people that would be able to see it. That's what these are. They're fake, obviously, but they're KW reserve listings. Under dashboard, you would see all of your listings and some updates and ratios and things like that. But you also have the ability to search here. And like I said, this is going to get a major upgrade. I sent out a survey not long ago that Keller Williams Realty International had sent me to share with you guys about what would you want out of the listings applet in Command, right? What does MLS do, for example, that you want this to do? So they're taking all of that data and all of that feedback. So remember, Command was built by agents for agents. It really is important to them what we want, right? So they're going to try to make this super cool. But up to now, you can search for listings anywhere across the country, parts of Canada, and now KW Worldwide is pulling in new pieces every day. We just grabbed Poland, Portugal, and St. Martin last week in our KW Worldwide family. So some of their listings are starting to roll into our system as we speak. So check those out if you have somebody who's looking to buy a house overseas. So get in here, poke around, see what you can find out. Last but not least, I want to show you guys the market, which is up at the top. Remember, lead with revenue. The only thing I recommend that you might spend money on right now is Twilio, the automated texting platform, or running some Facebook ads or postcards, right? Try not to spend a lot of money when you're first getting started. But if you ever find that you want Command to do a little bit more, or you heard about a different program and you want to know if it integrates with Command, you can come here into the marketplace and look for those different things that you have. They also have some training opportunities here under the training tab. Some of them are free, right? So find fast wins with Command Basics, from contract to close, top grade your Command database. Like, it's got some different classes in here that you may want to take that are free. Granted, you guys always have classes with me as well. But they have a couple of different things up here that you could definitely check out. Don't forget about your settings. There's a lot going on back there, far too much for us to cover all in one fell swoop. But if you need to edit your tags or add tags, or empty, like when you're deleting a contact, it's a two-step deletion process on purpose, so you don't accidentally delete something that you didn't mean to delete, right? So you have to archive your contact first, and then you go back to settings and delete your archive. So don't forget about settings. There's quite a bit back in there that you might find useful. But we have literally covered or touched on every single piece of Command. I know it's a big system. It is intentionally a big system because it's taking multiple systems and putting them into one spot for us, right? So get in here, explore. You're not going to break anything. Ask me questions, schedule one-on-ones, make sure that you're checking for the classes that I have coming up, both with your market centers and with Carolina Educational Services, and classes that we teach as a region. You guys are welcome to come to those as well. I try to always make sure that those are referenced on your resources site, kwtriadtech.com for Winston-Salem and Greensboro, kwtriangletech.com for my folks over in Chapel Hill. So I hope that this was helpful to you guys. I appreciate you so much for your patience and for sticking with me this week. And at least you have Friday off since we had to push everything into one day today. And I hope you have a great weekend if I don't talk to you before then.
Thank you, Monica. Have a good weekend.
Thank you guys. See ya.
Thank you.
Thanks.